If you love books with great characters that are quirky, with really solid dialogue and an interesting plot, I think you would love the book that I just finished because it's probably one of the top 5 reads that I've read this year. White Noise by Don DeLillo. White Noise was published in the 1980s. It takes place in a small town and focuses on two main characters, which are Jack and Babette. They are the husband and wife, and they have kids from separate marriages. I think Jack was married 4 times. Babette was married 3 or 4 times. The children are really quirky side characters. Heinrich is, I think, the oldest boy, and he's wicked smart and just a really interesting character. His dialogue brings a lot of life into the story. As the story unfolds from the perspective of Jack, the main character, who teaches studies at a local college, which is really interesting in its own right. A black cloud explosion happens in their small town and they're forced to evacuate. And you follow Jack through these feelings and emotions he has about Babette and his children and this overwhelming fear of death. It's something that he describes in pretty much every chapter, and he talks about it pretty openly with his children, with his wife, with his friends. There's other plot lines that I don't want to spoil that are really integral to the storyline. The themes of this book touch on family interaction, consumerism, capitalism, small town family dynamics, blended family dynamics. It's a book that I was really drawn to the dialogue. It was something that I just felt was really quirky, funny. It's almost like a dark comedy literature novel. If you like books that are very character driven, but also have a really strong plot, White Noise would be a perfect book to dive into. The tone of Jack as the narrator can be a little bit dry and mundane at times, but I found it to be a really great pace for the way that the book was written. It's something that I just continued to turn the pages. I wasn't feeling bogged down really at any point until probably the last 80 pages. The end of the book is a really slow drawl. I felt like it did wrap up pretty well. It's not the greatest book I've ever read, but it is a really solid book. I think the writing is super strong. If you're someone that wants to get into more pure literature, I think DeLillo and White Noise would be a fantastic place to start.